Welcome, my friends, welcome for another edition of the video production by the Artelino company. My name is Dieter Vanschura. I'm your host today, and I'm the owner of a little company, family company located in southern Germany. And we've sold Japanese prints, but also other modern art prints in weekly online auctions. And we produce these videos. I hope you like them. And today's video, my friend, is entirely devoted to just one artist, a contemporary printmaker from the genre of the so-called moku-hanga artist. His name is Paul Binnie. I repeat it, Paul Binnie. In case you should never have heard this name. Paul Binnie was born in 1967 in Scotland. Yes, he's Scottish, but today he's the most recognized, the best, the most unique contemporary artist in traditional Japanese woodblock printmaking called moku-hanga and worldwide. A few years ago, already 10 years ago, also a book was published just with his art, the title Dialogue with the Past. Sorry, I cannot show it, forgot to take it here to our video studio. Paul's prints are today in the British Museum, and since I think a few months also in the collection of the Met. Yeah, the Met. Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, the famous Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And there has been an exhibition about Japanese prints, the style of Japanese prints over the centuries. And Paul prints were shown as an example for contemporary Japanese printmaking, well, Scottish printmaking in the Japanese way. And yeah, let me show that page from the Met. Well, here you see Paul at work. And now let's go to the Met, Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art. And there you see a bunch of Paul prints. And they could all be seen in this exhibition. Afterwards, I will also show you a few prints by Paul, because now this is nearly sensational news. A few weeks ago, we got a consignment of prints directly by the artist, by Paul Binnie, for our auctions. So we are capable of offering these in the current and over the coming auctions. In my view, Paul Binnie, as an artist in this field of Japanese traditional printmaking, he's outstanding and he's unique. Big words, you think. Yeah, you're right. But let me explain that. Why? This has a reason. Why I think I can use such words like outstanding and unique. Well, first of all, it's definitely his artistic quality. There's hardly anybody of the contemporary artists who work in this style who comes even close to him. Secondly, the craftsmanship. The level of his craftsmanship is comparable to the best Shin-hanga artists. However, the prints of the Shin-hanga artists, well, they were usually, with the exception of one artist, and that is Hiroshi Yoshida. But all others, Hasui, these artists didn't have to carve, they didn't have to print. This was done by skilled carvers and printers. Paul Binnie, however, does everything himself. He's the creating artist from the beginning of the design to the final print. And the third reason why I think I can use such words like outstanding and unique. Paul covers all genres of classical ukiyo-e, the typical genres like kabuki actors, landscape prints, beautiful women. There are a few artists, and some of them you can also meet them in our auctions, like Osamu Sugiyama, for instance, or Ryuza Okamoto. But Osamu Sugiyama, well, he's specialized in landscapes, in mountain prints. Paul Binnie covers all genres. Okay, now let me show a few of the prints consigned directly by Paul. Paul, by the way, he admires Hiroshi Yoshida. Well, this is a typical Bijian print, and this is a later variation from one of the series of the Four Seasons. I cannot explain too much, otherwise it would take too long. This is from a relatively new series, Flowers of 100 Years. And this shows a beautiful woman from around 1900 reading a so-called frontispiece ukiyo-e, which was typical for the time of around 1900. Well, next one, classical landscape or town view print, night view of Yomeimon Temple. And that shows Lugano. And there, now I have to explain a little bit more. I told you Paul admires Hiroshi Yoshida. And Hiroshi Yoshida, back from one of his trips from the USA, he stopped together with his wife and they visited Europe. And during his visit, he came to Italy, and Switzerland, and Greece. And in Switzerland, he visited Lugano and made a famous print, Shinhanga print from Lugano. So this is a kind of, let's say, expression of admiration by Paul for Hiroshi Yoshida. Lugano. Next one. An oldie but goodie, one of the early, not Shinhanga prints, shouldn't use that word, one of the early Mokuhanga prints by Paul Binnie while he was still in Japan from the 1990s. And that is now beautiful. Recently we made an extra video, well, just about this nude print. Lovely, I mean, this combination of colors, and here the gradation, look from relatively dark blue up to this pale kind of yellowish pink, and the expression of that woman, quite incredible. Next one, another nude print, and that is also a modification of a design from 2003. I think, I'm not so quite sure. What's different here is the color of the background. The title is Veranda. By the way, Paul uses Japanese models. He doesn't make his designs from photographs, but he sketches on the spot landscapes, temples, and also when he makes a print of the Bijian genre, Bijian beautiful women, while he uses Japanese models. Himeji Castle, also an oldie but goodie. And here Miyajima Gate, the famous gate of Miyajima, also an early one, among one of his bests in my view. And well, here you see the tattoo version of a nude print. Paul Binnie, rather often when he makes a nude print, he makes two versions. One as a normal nude, and another one with a tattoo taken from a famous ukiyo-e from the 19th century. In that case, Hiroshige, Ando Hiroshige. And if you don't like tattoos, well, then you can buy the version without a tattoo. Well, this is just a small selection of the prints we received from Paul to be offered in our auctions. In the current auction, I think we offered 2. Today is November 6, and the auction will end tomorrow, November 7. Please give Paul Binnie a warm welcome. And when I say a warm welcome, I mean, of course, buy nothing else, because just with a friendly like, click, nobody can pay his rent, not Paul Binnie and not me. Got the message? Okay. Well, thanks for watching, and have a good time. And take a look at our auction catalogs. Goodbye.